Andraz Piletic. I'm a technical solution architect with the Flint SI. Probably now it's about 3 years. It's actually since the last Cisco Live that was in San Diego. Yeah. Configuring the local devices to redirect the DNS request to the SaaS service the Umbrella provides. We, as the kind of Cisco partner, try to test things on our own before we position the product to our customers or educate partners on it. So the primary use case was to test things out, to be our own first customer. So we start using it internally for our own purposes to secure our access to the internet with Umbrella. Usually is, I think, to secure the internet connectivity. So especially to focus on the threats introduced with the web browsing, because most of the applications, the workloads they use is browser-based anyway, right? And since the traffic by default it's typically encrypted with HTTPS, really to get more insight into that traffic. The classical security appliances have very little visibility into it, so this is where we see the Umbrella has the most traction. So one is definitely its simplicity to deploy it, right? It's very easy to integrate it into the environment without heavy lifting. Users didn't notice that we've implemented, and you can start with the, very little in the monitoring mode, right? You can start observing what Umbrella sees before. I would say in general, so it increases the security level. It helps us prevent the threat from being accessed. Also, the visibility into the internet bounce traffic, it's increased. So I'd say in general, it's kind of increases the overall internet security for the organization. So in most of the cases, the solution is pretty transparent to the end user, right? So I would say they don't necessarily get any confidence from it, right? But that's fine. It's supposed to be that way, right? It's supposed to be as transparent as possible. But when you access the site, which is blacklisted or treated as potentially suspicious, you get a warning displayed, right? So it gives you additional confidence that, somebody else is taking care of the details, so I can confidently browse around, and if I come across a suspicious site, I'll get a warning or advisory where I'm sure to proceed. Within our organization, even before COVID, a lot of us worked remotely from time to time. So companies we work with, for some, this has become a reality with the COVID, right? Before everybody was working on site, now that's no longer the case, right? So to be flexible, so even if I work from home or from other place, that I'm still secured, it's an important part of it. For all Umbrella-related things, yes, right? But it's one component, right? If I look at the typical employee, right, there'll be one piece of the puzzle. Other solutions, like for example, the AnyConnect for remote access, is managed separately. I wouldn't say that it's, but what's Umbrella specific? It's a single interface for the management. So for the monitoring, for the policies, for troubleshooting a specific case, right, everything is in one place, right? I want to go through the logs, so I know where to look at. My organization is not very large, and I'd say my colleagues are pretty proficient. So I would say it's not the high priority, right? But it's always good if solutions are capable of integrating together, right? So if by enabling that, the workflow is simplified, right? If the day-to-day operations are a little easier, yeah, that's something definitely we want to benefit from. For the administrator user experience, I would say, well, definitely, especially if the personnel is busy, right? Then yeah, it helps if all the relevant details are all in one place. I mean, Umbrella on its own, it's pretty user-friendly, so easy to set up, easy to maintain as well. I would say it's one of its strong suits. So for branch and campus, yeah, it's very simple. For the home environments, right, there are options how you can integrate it into the employee PC as well. So I would say it supports some different methods for different environments that you can achieve the level of implementation that you need. Yeah. So I would say it's where it should be. I would say it's very efficient, right? The way how simply you just can adopt it, right, into the environment, and you don't need to build the rule sets on your own manually, right? It kind of utilizes the best practices. It's very easy to set up the policies about, for example, potential malicious categories on the internet, right? What you want to block, what you want to filter out. So it's very easy to implement that. So when you go through the reporting and statistics, you can see what kind of threats were blocked. Luckily, so we didn't have an incident where something would get through and it would cause us the security incident. So yeah, so far all good. I mean, when you look at the numbers, it looks pretty impressive. It's just hard to assess how serious that potential threat really was. So it's a little hard to put the actual weight on it to determine how meaningful that number is. It's pretty high. It's a high priority, right? Without doing the business securely, it's important for our customers, right? That we handle things that we do for them in a secure manner, right? So it's of high importance. I would say the integration with other products Cisco has in portfolio, right? So you mentioned the management before, right? So when we closer integrate with other products, right, also that we would be able to manage things in, for example, the identities, right? If you define them in ICE, right, you could use that, for example, if you use same identities also within the umbrella, but that kind of things are something that would simplify the use of multiple products within the organization, right, from the same vendor. So we're a Cisco partner, right? So we work with a lot of Cisco solutions. So it was a pretty easy selection of what we'll want to try and test. So yeah, we didn't really went into the, I would say, competitive selection and assessment. Yeah, so it was pretty straightforward for us to go with Umbrella. Well, licensing with Cisco is always, sometimes it can be a little complex, but I think it's comparable with other similar products. I mean, it's always hard to put a price on the security, right? But I think it's fair with the value it provides. to come up with the actual numbers, it's really hard to measure and determine, right? But I think generally when you see customers that so implement it, start using it, they renew the licenses, they adopt the product, they recognize the value it brings, I would say, yeah, in a way that's also means that the return of investment achieve the desired level. The solution is cloud-based. You just send your DNS requests or your traffic to it. Yeah. Like I said before, you can start with the monitoring only mode, right? So you just, for example, redirect the DNS request, start observing what umbrella recognizes these, and then later start defining the policies, set up the enforcements, etc. So yeah, you can very quickly get to the first results. I mean, it's one of the strong suits of Cisco. And it is my personal experience with the umbrella team, they're very quick to turn around. So it's even above average for the Cisco standard compared to other Cisco solutions and products. Probably 9. There's always space for improvement, right? Pretty robust, yeah. I think also their uptime statistics are very, very high. So yeah, it's generally no issues around that. For our organization, we aren't very large, right? So the scale is an issue, but with the numbers I'm generally familiar with, it's pretty scalable also for larger organizations. Yeah. So I think it's at the moment it's not a limiting factor. Probably so 9 as well.